You know, when a cabinet shuffle is announced, you know that the people who are going to be shuffled are being shuffled because they're not getting the results that the government wanted in their mandate letters. And as such, it's important to take a look at what this government put out today from that point of view. What I would say then is that this government is identifying and acknowledging that in some key areas they are actually failing. They're failing in trade. They're failing in pipelines, they're failing in infrastructure, and as a result, those ministers have been moved to other portfolios. This is a desperate attempt to hit that reset button so that they have this last little bit over a year until the next election in order to show Canadians that what they were elected for, they're attempting to get done. Now, if Justin Trudeau thought the last 2.5 years had gone well, he wouldn't be making these kinds of changes. This is a government that is struggling to cope not only with the big issues, but the smaller files as well. Now, the hope today in a cabinet shuffle, of course, is that by changing some of the faces from old to new, that will be more impressed. But I don't think Canadians are going to be impressed with this cabinet shuffle.
Conservatives have been calling for months for the Liberals to pay more attention to the situation at the border, something that you call a crisis. Isn't appointing a minister with law enforcement background a win in that regard in terms of paying closer attention and identifying this as an issue that needs to be addressed?
Certainly it's an acknowledgement of the problem, but let's take a look at two things. Number one, they've appointed Bill Blair. And as you know, being from the Toronto Star, you wrote chapter and verse about the acrimony between the Fords and with Bill Blair as well. So you know that that appointment in and of itself, while it looks good on paper, is going to be fraught with difficulties, especially when it comes to dealing in Toronto and Ontario. But the second thing I would say is just because we have a new minister doesn't mean that he's going to have the resources to get that plan together, and that's what we're asking for. What's the long-term plan? Two parts of it. One is to deal with the security at the border, but the second is the plan to take the pressure off the cities that they're expressing to the minister now. So we'll be looking to see what Mr. Blair and my colleague Michelle Rempel asked him to appear at committee next week already via Twitter, so we'll see if he appears.